Welcome to School Quiz students. I'm your biology teacher Swati, and in today's lecture we are going to start with the topic why do we fall ill. This chapter is included in your class 9th. But before starting the video, I would like to ask you what actually the illness is. So illness basically is one of the abnormal condition of the body. Abnormal condition means which is quite different from the normal condition of the body. That means the functioning of the body will be hampered. We will not be able to work that actively, that efficiently, and the illness can be of two types. The illness can also be of the body, or the illness can be of the mind too. If we talk about the illness of the body, that means if we are not able to run properly, we are not able to walk properly, if we have to walk, we have to take help from someone else in that way, or we are having some physical pain. So all those is the illness which is related to the body. When it comes to mind, although in India or many backward countries, mental health is not considered as the part of health or illness. But let me tell you students, it's equally important as the physical health. Okay, so when we talk about mental health or the illness of the mind, that means if a person just feel like crying whole day, a person is not able to sleep, a person is not actually happy and is just trying to escape from the reality. So all these are the ways in which a person is mentally ill. Okay, and students, if we talk about health, so health is something which is the containment of all of these three components. These three components which basically are physical health, mental health, and social health. So from now onwards, children, if you feel that you are mentally ill, so please try to share all these things with your parents, your family, your friends. They will definitely help you out, but please don't ignore your mental health. That is very, very important. When we talk about social health, that means how socially we are compatible with our neighborhood or the people we are living with. Okay, like suppose there is a person who don't feel happy going in the crowd or going to the marriages. To some extent there can be people who are extroverts or introverts, but if a person want to be always isolated and just want to be in themselves, that can be a part of illness and it needs to be treated. Okay, as we have now understood the term illness, now we should know how we will get to know that we are ill or not. So we will get to know about illness by the signs and symptoms we are observing. Okay, so suppose if I have to tell that you are having cough. So if you are coughing whole day, you are having sore throat, or so in that way I can say that you are having cold. Or if you are having running nose, that is also a symptom of cold only. Suppose if you have to recognize that you are having some stomach pain, so your stomach will be upset whole of the day and you will be feeling spasm in your stomach. So all these are the signs and symptoms of the diseases, and with help of these signs and symptoms only we are able to diagnose that we are having some illness or not. But students, it's not always the case, because in initial stage of any disease, the symptoms are not that significant. But with some passage of time and span of time, only these symptoms become significant. And we are able to tell that particular person is ill or not. Okay? So that way only we can tell whether a particular person is ill or not. There are several stages of the illness, and those are known as illness stage. So illness stage basically is a stage in which we are able to properly recognize those symptoms and signs. Because if you will visit to doctor, then doctor will also ask from you that what are you feeling, why you visited me. So you will say, doctor, I am having some pain in stomach. Then he will ask, okay, what did you eat last night, or what is your routine nowadays. So in that way it can be notified. Okay, and now let me tell you about some of the symptoms of the body illness and mind illness. If we talk about body illness, headache is a kind of body illness in which we are having continuous pain in our head. Headache can also be due to some gastric problems, or it can also be due to migraine problems also, and in some cases because of weak eyesight also students face these headaches. Okay, then secondly is cough and cold. Cough and cold basically can be caused because of virus also, and because of bad weather also. Like nowadays the weather is quite fluctuating, and in some colder parts of India, like we talk about Punjab and Haryana region, in those regions it's very cold nowadays. So the probability or chances of getting cold and cough is very high in this time. Next is stomach ache. So stomach ache can be because of improper food also, or it can be many a times because of certain reasons also, like we might have some food poisoning, or we can have some stomach infection also. After that is the tooth pain. Pain can be because of like some cavities in the teeth, or if we are more on the sugar based products, in that cases also the tooth pain is quite common. Okay students, so all those are the kind of illness or the diseases which can be related to our body. Now according to the kind of condition, we have to decide like which doctor we have to visit. Okay, suppose if you are having some problem related to your stomach, so you should consult with gastrointestinologist. Okay, if you are having some problem related to your bones, then orthopedic doctor will help you out. Okay students, now let's move on to the mental diseases. When we talk about the diseases related to mind, it is anxiety, sleep disorder, depression, dementia, obsessive compulsion disorder. Anxiety basically is a kind of condition in which we are not able to maintain the stabilized condition of our body. Like suppose you are having exam and you are just getting panicked, so that is a kind of anxiety only. To certain extent that is fine, but repeatedly you are having that thing. If something is forming a cycle and it is getting repeated time and again, that is the problem, and that needs to be tackled and solved very nicely. Okay, so anxiety, suppose if you have to go to some place and initially you feel anxiety, in that way anxiety can be there. So all these are the things which need to be tackled for that way. Next is sleep disorder. Sleep disorder is a kind of disorder in which a person is not able to take proper sleep because of some of the tensions and other things which are going on in their mind, and the sleep disorder is known as insomnia. Taking at least 7 to 8 hours sleep is very necessary, children. If you are not able to take this much sleep, and that is something which is happening in a routine, so you should definitely consult with a doctor, or you should discuss this with your family also, because that is a matter of concern. Okay students, next is the depression. Depression is something in which a person always feels like he is dejected, he is getting demotivated, or if a person is always criticized, if a person is always compared with others, in that way also person gets depressed by certain factors, or the societal pressure can also be there. So all these are the things which need to be tackled very properly. Okay students, next if we talk about, so the next thing which we have to talk is dementia. Dementia is a kind of disorder which is more prevalent in old age people, in which people are not able to remember certain things. Even they are not able to remember their family members also, their near and dear ones also. So in that case, dementia, like even a person many times forget their own name also. So that is the thing happen in dementia. Next is obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder is a kind of disorder in which people have habits, some odd habits, like chewing the teeth, you can say. If a person is having the habit of chewing their nails time and again, and if a person is having a habit of just switching on and off of the switch, in that way also this is the case. If someone is facing illness related to mind, there is a doctor known as psychiatrist. Whom you should consult, and what basically the psychiatrist does. Psychiatrists not always just provide you with the medicine. Instead of providing you with the medicine, psychiatrists basically try to give you counseling session. They basically try to understand you just as a friend, or just as a person who is there to just clarify all your problems, and you can just be relaxed after the session. When we talk about psychiatrist in simple words, if I should say, students, you can understand this in this way. Suppose you are having entangled thoughts in your mind, something is there, not getting good marks, want to have lifestyle like friends, and many more things can be there, and the psychiatrist will just try to open up each thread and will come out with the relevant solution for your problem. And it's not necessary, kids, that you always have to visit a psychiatrist for these disorders or these things. Many times family and friends are also there who are able to help you out with this particular situation, and that is very, very necessary. Okay, so now we just know the overview of what actually the illness is. Now comes, why do we fall ill? What is the reason behind illness? So reason behind the illness can be many. They can be divided into internal factors and external factors also. If we talk about the reasons why do we fall ill, so the reason for illness can be external or internal. If the reasons are external for some particular disorder, mostly those disorders are caused because of microorganisms or microbes, and those microorganisms can be bacteria, fungus, virus, protozoa. Apart from that, it can also be because of improper diet which we are taking, or the monotonous routine of the person, because a person is just lethargic, just want always to take a car. If they have to travel even up to half an kilometer, up to that also they are preferring to take car instead of walking. Because of that also, like, illness can be caused, or we can be affected. Okay, and if we talk about internal factors, so internal factors can be related to something which is related to our body. If there is some mutation in the body, or we can say some physiological disorder is there. Physiological disorder is something in which the organ system is basically affected, and the organ system is something in which we can say, suppose respiratory tract is affected, digestive system is affected, or we can say excretory process is affected. So in that way the organ system is basically affected, in which the internal process of our body are affected. Okay, so it can be related to respiratory tract, it can be related to circulatory tract, and so these all are the certain factors which are responsible for illness. And as Now I want to ask you one thing. Okay, students, just up to your knowledge, can you just tell me which is the microorganism, or which is the organism which is responsible for COVID-19 or Omicron? I want all of you to comment to me in the comment section and tell me which is the causative organism for COVID-19 or Omicron. That's all for the video, students. Keep learning, keep studying, stay motivated. Thank you. Bye bye, children. Bye.